engaging with difficult customers and succeeding in difficult situations. Greetings. This is the third video in the series. I'm Drew McLandrich. Please let me mention there are two goals of these videos once again. The first goal is to make our work more enjoyable by creating more happy customers, even among those customers that were initially unhappy. The second goal is to inform our customers in an easy fashion about what else Cincinnati offers. This video addresses engaging with difficult customers and succeeding in difficult situations. Bill Gates said, and I believe correctly, your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Let's face it, most always, customers do not want to be difficult or unhappy. To get a handle on this, let's take a quick stroll in your customers' moccasins. Your customers have their work to do, their work to get done. Most often, the work they need to get done is to make something. That's why they have equipment from Cincinnati, to make something. When their Cincinnati equipment is not working well, or at all, they cannot make what they need to make. Your customers cannot fill their rice bowl. Their wallet starts to empty, and that makes your customers grumpy. Oftentimes, this is the situation into which you enter. And there can be compounding factors. These factors can include that after the machine trouble started, you may have not been able to get to your customer more quickly than, say, instantly. Given this circumstance of non-production, your customer's mood is understandable. Of course, the difference is your customer is permitted to be grumpy. He or she should not show you grumpiness, and especially not downright hostility, but sometimes that is the case. And in a sad way, that's your customer's privilege. Perhaps a privilege your customer should not exercise, but a privilege nonetheless. All importantly, any sort of grumpiness is never the privilege of a Cincinnati serviceman, period. It's a one-way street, plain and simple. Is there a point at which reasonable grumpiness turns into abuse? Yes, there is. However, if and when your customer reaches that point, it still does not permit a Cincinnati serviceman to react in any other way than as an ambassador, with complete and unwavering professionalism. Let's take a look at how negative situations can get started, fester, and sometimes get out of hand. As noted earlier, negative situations begin for a simple and very real reason. A productive facility's production has slowed or stopped. You arrive in the rescue ship and expected, perhaps immediately, to restore productivity. Your arrival may have been delayed for longer than anyone would have liked because you're working at another business or a part you know you needed to do the repair was not available until now. Here is another instance in which communicating with your customer is vital. Because you sent emails or made telephone calls to this customer over the past 2 weeks, he knows what is going on and that you are coming today. Having this knowledge provided your customer with an opportunity to use his workforce more productively. Your emails and calls also helped your contact explain to his bosses what the heck is going on and when they will be productive again. It's a feeding chain, and there are those feeding on your contact, your customer. Question: how do you communicate with your contact, your customer? Answer: the way they prefer to be communicated with. Question: how do you know their preference? Ask them. What's the best way for you to get a message from me? Email? Phone? Then note their preference and use that medium to keep them posted. If their preferred medium is email and you're running 30 minutes late and you know your customer is on the shop floor and away from email, a call is fine. If you're leaving a voicemail, keep the voicemail short. No excuses. You're running late, just the fact. Now you arrive and you're shown to the shop floor. There is your contact, looking unsettled and grumpy. Nevertheless, your greeting is pleasant and uses his name. Good afternoon, Bob. Depending on his reply and his body language, you may or may not decide to make a bit of small talk, or simply say, please show me which machine needs to be serviced. I'm ready to get to work. And then get to work. The idea of all your communication is that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Bad news delivered early can be good news. Let's change the scenario a bit. Now you arrive and you're shown to the shop floor. There is your contact looking totally freaked out and yelling at you from across the shop floor, get over here and fix this piece of junk before I have it unbolted and scrapped. Nevertheless, your greeting is pleasant and uses his name. Good afternoon, Bob. No small talk here. It's go time. I'm ready to fix the machine. Before I start, do you have any special instructions for me? Using a phrase like, before I start, do you have any special instructions for me, invites your very unhappy customer to unload on you. While it's going to hurt, it is important you offer your very unhappy customer the opportunity to vent. All the way over, you knew this was going to happen. In fact, you have known this was going to happen for almost the entire 2 weeks it has taken you to get there. This knowledge, while it does not make the dressing down any easier, helps you to be an ambassador with complete and unwavering professionalism. At this moment, the customer has cause to be reasonably grumpy, but not abusive. The line between these two states is not always clear and bright. Personal attacks cross that line. If it gets personal, just forget it. By saying, I'm ready to fix the machine, before I start, do you have any special instructions for me? You have invited your customer to vent. Perhaps he may not accept the invitation and instead says, nothing special, just fix the damn thing. If he says something like that, then simply say, thank you, I will get things fixed as quickly as possible, and I will keep you posted. If he does vent, here are a few things to keep in mind. Stand a comfortable distance from your customer, one that does not enter his personal space, about 4 feet. Of course, if it is a noisy shop floor, you may need to be closer to hear. Signal this by gently leaning forward and perhaps placing your hand near your ear, showing you are moving a little closer to hear, not to confront. Make and maintain eye contact, though this is not a stare down. Avoid staring. Now and then you can drop your gaze down, never up. Looking down is non-threatening and affirms you are hearing his negative statements and understanding his unhappiness. Looking up can appear to be saying, yeah, right. Nod and change your facial expression. Let your customer know he's being heard and understood, and you're not just waiting him out. Find a comfortable place for your hands. Never place your hands on your hips. If you do gesture, gesture with your palms down, especially in foreign countries in which palms up gestures may signal go to hell or worse. Do not interrupt. Only interrupt to ask for really needed clarification, or if you just didn't hear what was said. Stay quiet. After your customer is done speaking, do not feel the need to reply immediately. Wait a few seconds. You just may find your customer has one more thing to say. When it is your turn to speak, paraphrase very briefly what you've heard, finishing with, is there anything else you would like me to know? This is said with a smiling tone of voice so it does not sound sarcastic. This question opens the door and allows your customer to vent all over again. If your customer chooses to vent again, just follow the same course as you did with the first venting. Studies show after 2 ventings, most all angry customers feel better, but only if they feel they have been heard and understood. It goes this way. Stand a comfortable distance from your customer, one that does not enter his personal space, about 4 feet. Make and maintain eye contact, though this is not a stare down. Nod and change your facial expressions to show he's being heard. Place your hands in a comfortable position, never on your hips. Do not interrupt. Stay quiet. When it is your turn to speak, do not debate. You have not come to this business to win a debate. You've come to repair a machine so your customer can make the product that fills your customer's rice bowl, and so in turn, your customer can help fill yours. It does not really matter that he said the part was ordered 3 weeks ago when the part was really ordered 10 days ago. It really has no bearing on getting his machine up and running that he said most any incorrect statement. The only type of incorrect statement to qualify, not question, not challenge, is one that would mislead your diagnosis of what's wrong with the machine. A specific statement about the machine's performance or operation that is unclear or misleading must be clarified. To clarify such a statement, soften your question. Try, did you mention? Mention is softer than say, which can be heard as an accusation. When it is time to part company, it is best to end with a polite thank you. I will get things fixed as quickly as possible, and I will keep you posted. The conversation is over. It is time to get to the diagnostic work and the physical work. These next phases of your work are described as the diagnostic work and the physical work because the work you just accomplished by listening to your customer and affirming his unhappiness is a vital part of the professional work you do. And beyond getting it off his chest, your customer may have said things that will help you better understand how to work with him and things that will help improve the way CI interacts and works with him. You made it look terribly easy because although no one enjoys being on the receiving end of a venting, you gave your best performance whether you felt like it or not. A true professional, a true CI serviceman, an ambassador, the best in the business. As a true professional, when you are in front of your customer or speaking with your customer, you take full and complete responsibility. Let's say the truth is you ordered the part 2 weeks ago. The part was in stock. The part was shipped the next day, but to the wrong address. So the part was not available when you arrived to fix the machine. So now instead of an afternoon's work and on to the next customer, you're spending the night, changing your travel schedule, and arriving a day later at the next customer who already wanted you to be there last week to begin with. And you're going to be late arriving at the customer after that one. Now you have at least 2 or more customers to communicate with about when you will be able to begin their work, or letting each of your customers know about the change in your schedule. So now job 1 is informing the CI service scheduler or letting each of your customers affected by the schedule change know your new schedule as soon as you know it. Before sending those communications and promising those new dates of arrival, it may be a good idea to make as certain as you can that the parts you may need for those jobs are either shipped to the correct location or are in stock and ready to go. Of course, when working in Western time zones, one needs to anticipate the time difference and order whatever one might need before the day's out in the East. Armed with the best information you can get, yes, that's a bunch of extra work. You're grinding now. It's time to inform the Cincinnati scheduler or your other customers about the changes in your schedule. These messages do not need a lot of detail. For example, the repairs I'm currently working on are going to take 1 more day than I anticipated. That means I'm going to be at your plant on a specific day and a specific time. Tomorrow I will give you a call. If there is any additional reassurance you can offer, such as, I have ordered a couple of parts I suspect may be needed, and those parts will arrive at a certain date, then add that to your message. If you are not sure about those parts, then do not add that type of information. If you're emailing these notices, be certain to say that you will call to provide more detail. Your communications with your current customer do not assign blame. There is no reason to say, I ordered that part 3 weeks ago, but it was sent to the wrong address. This is an internal matter to handle among your Cincinnati teammates. All your customer wants is to have their machine start filling their rice bowl again. Your customer does not care about what happened. It doesn't matter. All you need to tell your customer is, I ordered the part, it's being overnighted for early delivery. I will complete the repair around 1 p.m. A time like this is a good time to underpromise and overdeliver. You know you should be able to get the repair done by 12:30. So if you get the repair done by noon, you've exceeded the expectation, an expectation you created. If you say 11:30 and it takes till 11:45, well, we all know what happens then. If really pressed by your customer with a question like, I thought you said you ordered that part, what happened? Then you have to answer that question with the truth. The part was ordered and it was shipped to the wrong address. Then finish with a positive statement like, the part will be here first thing tomorrow morning. I will complete the repair by around 1 p.m. A word of caution, underpromising is something of an art. In the scenario above, if one says, I'll have things fixed by 5 p.m., when you know it will be closer to noon, your customer may become unhappy saying, I was hoping to get some production this afternoon. Or when things are wrapped up by 11:30, your customer might think, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, or he's just padding the heck out of his estimates. In recap, when confronted by an upset or even downright hostile customer, listen. Let the customer empty their bucket. Maybe empty their bucket a second time. Paraphrase what the customer said so he knows you got the message. Do not debate or make excuses. If you must provide an explanation, make your explanation honest and short. Do not throw teammates under the bus. End your explanation with the good things that are going to happen. Then assure your customer you are on the case. You are going to fix the machine and keep him posted. Lastly, please and thank you are always powerful words. They are seldom overused. You're welcome, my pleasure, are so much better of a response than saying no problem. Thank you for working with me. Your efforts and energy are appreciated. In the coming week, you'll receive an email with a link to a survey concerning the content of this video. Please complete the survey and return it via SurveyMonkey. In a couple of weeks, you'll receive an email with a link to the next video entitled, Further Introducing Your Customers to CI. Do travel and work safely. My best to you.